All right. We're in.
This is the Sports Dynasty Podcast. I'm Trevor. This is Juan. And today we have a special guest today, a friend of the show. This is Von Allen Sports. How you doing, bud?
What's up, guys?
Doing good. Today we're going to talk about Tampa Bay Buccaneers stuff, Patriots stuff, because our preseason is today. So this is going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
2.5 hours from now.
2.5 hours from now, we are now here.
Finally, I cannot wait. Football's finally back.
Let's go.
I can't wait. Oh man,
Time's gone by fast, but I need it. So it's like
it has gone by fast.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I really was getting tired of this NBA stuff. So I really wanted football to go ahead. All right. So let's begin. Yeah, man. But how have you been? Before we continue.
Doing great. Just got back to America. I was, you guys know I was in Europe for almost 2 years. So I got stuck there after COVID hit. So
I remember.
But I'm back in LA now. So I'm starting to feel like myself again. So
yeah, awesome. You gonna catch any games?
Oh yeah, my brother got me tickets to see Tom Brady against the Rams in Week 4 for my birthday. So I will be going to the new SoFi Stadium here.
Not even bad. That's amazing. Good, yeah, well, we're trying to catch the Patriots game at Jets. We are in New York. Trying to catch that for week 2.
I didn't even know you guys are in New York. I didn't even know.
Yeah, we're from New York. We're Patriots fans from New York. Yeah, we get ridiculed a lot.
Wow. Okay, so
we do. We good.
Do you know Shaq, who comes on the show, VonAllen Sports show? He's in Queens.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, and he's a Pats fan. So I think it's weird to see a New York fan, a Pats fan, but I like it though. So.
Yeah, man. We live in enemy territory, and too bad we're more successful than all those things combined.
They say something about Red Sox fans too. I'm a Red Sox fan too, so especially over here in the Bronx, it's like, oh, goddamn, like Red Sox fans. But there's a whole lot of us here. A lot of Red Sox fans in New York City. A lot of them. So I'm not surprised actually.
Yeah, he's an all Boston person.
Yeah, all Boston sports.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome. I have to be honest, I don't follow baseball that much. But
is it fun?
I did follow basketball, but like I said, after Kobe retired, it was kind of like, I wasn't a Lakers fan. I was really just a Kobe fan, which made me a Lakers fan, which is kind of a strange thing. So, but I do like the Celtics though. I just had nothing to do with the Patriots. I just like their uniforms and how they are and stuff like that. But I never really had a favorite basketball team. I just watch it. So I'm glad the Bucks won though. I thought that was pretty cool. Giannis showed that you don't have to have a super team to win a championship. So
I wish you tell that to Steven Jackson, who thinks that his team is a super team, which is ridiculous. But yeah.
Wait a minute. There's someone on Earth who thinks that the Bucks were a super team.
Yeah, Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson said that
he's an idiot.
That's exactly what when we heard it. I posted it in the group for the discussion, and I'm like, yeah, he's an idiot. Like, what are you talking about? Like, who on the Bucks besides Giannis qualify them to be a super team? Like, is there another superstar there? Is there another superstar in Milwaukee besides Giannis that we don't know about? No. I don't think so.
With that dumbass logic, the Spurs has been a super team for 20 years.
Yeah.
With that dumbass logic.
I guess Dirk's Dallas Mavericks were a super team too then.
That's what I'm saying. With that dumbass logic.
How weird. What about the Raptors who just won 2 years ago? Is that a super team?
Yeah. They had Kawhi, and pretty much that's it.
Okay, well, one superstar. Like, that's normal. Kobe won back-to-back and went to 3 finals, and the only superstar he had was Pau Gasol, and he's not even an all-time great or anything. And he went to 3 straight finals. So, anyway, that's a different conversation. But listen. Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, they sit on their show Up in Smoke, and they act like they're hard gangsters and stuff. Like they sit back in their chair and they talk slow and they talk like they're cool and stuff, and they think that they're like they act like they're in the NWA. You know, they were straight out of Compton or something.
What's funny is that they had Ice Cube as a guest not so long ago. That's why that's kind of funny. But yeah,
funny, yeah. But
they really be high on the podcast most of the time.
They are,
they're high most of the time.
And all they do is talk crap about people. And then when someone calls them out, like Kwame Brown called them out, and then they start acting like a bunch of little pansies. So,
oh shit.
Anyway,
Kwame did go on them though.
Nah. Kwame Brown is must see TV. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I tuned into him a long time ago when he first started. What was about a few months back.
Yeah.
And now he's got over 400,000 subs. But
yes.
So anyway,
there's totally a storm going on right now outside. My window is like, wow. Okay.
Lucky you. Right. I wish it was going on here. It never rains. LA's a desert. People don't know that, but most of LA is in a desert. Yeah. It's all fake. Just like Hollywood, everything here is fake. The grass is fake. The trees are fake. Yeah. So it never rains here.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Mm-hmm. All right. We got everything warmed up. It's football time.
Let's
go.
Yes, sir.
So you have mentioned the greatest player of all time a couple minutes ago. How do you feel about him being able to beat everybody with one leg?
I think honestly, I think it says more about the generational gap. You never heard Brett Favre talk about injuries. You never heard Peyton ever talk about being banged up. You never heard Tom. But now, not to throw shade at Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick did not make an excuse for himself. He mentioned that he had turf toe in the Super Bowl, but he said it wasn't a factor. But everybody else made it a factor, and excusing him. All the young guys are making excuses for him. They're already making excuses now for Dak again, like this morning. So they never made those excuses for Tom. They don't give those excuses for Tom, He's unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. My brother had the same injury playing hockey as Tom had last year, and he couldn't walk for about 3 months.
Wow.
So Tom has been getting injected with a painkiller and going out there and playing, because you can't do what he did, dude. You guys know Tom's mechanics, right? So they're like from foot to ankle to calf to thigh. He uses every part of his body to.
Yeah, a lot of strain goes on those knees. When you see him drop back, you see it straight up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not like he's upper body. Like, you remember how Michael Vick, he could just stand there flat-footed and just flick his wrist, and that thing would go 60 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tom isn't like that. So Tom needs his legs. So every time he threw a pass, it was probably hurting.
100%. 100%.
Just the dude is amazing, dude. He's a freak. And I'll be honest with you, it's made me pay attention now that I'm getting older. I'm only 3 years younger than Tom. I'm thinking about really looking into the TB12 method, dude. Seriously. So
there's no question that it works. Like, it really does.
I mean, come on. So
like, I'm playing basketball yesterday, and I strained my freaking I think my Achilles, to be honest, because I really can't walk. So I can only imagine the type of pain that man was going through with the partially torn MCL. Destroying defense after defense after defense. It's these athletes are something different. He's something different. And you're right, they really don't give him no slack for injuries at all, because how many years he was always in the injury list, but they never specified in New England. Like, he would I think 19, he had a messed up throwing shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. I think that his final year in the Patriot uniform, I think he had a messed up shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. No one's saying anything about it.
That's not only messed up shoulder, but he also had a knee injury.
Which might have been that MCL.
Yeah. It was that was ruptured back in early 2019. So he played that. Remember that whole year, everyone was giving him crap, saying that Tom's done. And I was one of his biggest defenders. I said, listen, because I am such a Tom Brady fan, and I know so much about him, I will be the first one to announce that I think Tom Brady's done. Okay. Mm-hmm. I will. I have no problem with that, because it would discredit everything I've ever said good about him if I'm afraid to say anything negative, right? Mm-hmm. And in 2019, I stuck by it, dude. I said, no, there's nothing wrong with him age-wise. Maybe there's something else. I thought it was also the team, the not the team itself, but I mean the players he was working with.
Personnel. That's what we said.
It just wasn't working right. And I said, if he does leave, he's going to destroy. He's going to be like Genghis Khan on the rest of the league. If he leaves New England, dude, don't let him out the door. And look what happened. He did it. Super Bowl MVP, done. So.
Yeah, I remember that. That was our first year recording, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that. We were like, dude, like there's a little bit off with him because we didn't know about injuries, but we're like, nah.
Yeah.
This is
That's right.
We destroyed GM Bill all year.
It was your show. It was your show that I said that on, wasn't it?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. That's funny. Full circle. But yeah, I said no because you asked me if I thought Tom was done or what I think about people saying that Tom was done. And no, man, no. I know football, dude. I know this game, and I know quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is my expertise. That's where I really pay attention to. And there was nothing wrong with Tom Brady, man. As far as
quarterbacks, because you have your own system. You have your own ranking system for your quarterbacks. If I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right.
And if I'm not mistaken, to not shy away and give away information towards people, you have Tom first. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, I don't have Tom first. The formula has Tom first.
Yes, my bad. Yes, you're right. Your formula has Tom first. You want to put a little bit of insight as to why?
Because our formula accounts for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't do just regular season. I believe the MVP. I believe being a regular season MVP and getting bounced in the first round doesn't make you the most valuable player in the league. I think that's idiotic, to be honest with you. So I think we should have a league MVP at the end of the year. It should be awarded after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But
for everything, gotcha.
Yeah, for everything. So I give points. The quarterback keeps getting points throughout the entire season, all the way to the end of the year through the playoffs.
Okay.
What happened was a funny story. Is that Patrick had won the regular season MVP in our formula, not Aaron Rodgers, who got the NFL MVP. In fact, here's something funny. Aaron Rodgers got fourth.
Ooh.
So it was Patrick, it was Josh Allen, Tom. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. In the regular season, it was Patrick Mahomes. Aaron got fourth at the end. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So regular season was Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers,
okay,
Josh Allen, and Tom Brady. That was the top four. But someone asked me at the end of the year if Tom could win, and I said, here's what would have to happen. It's virtually impossible for Tom to win because he would have to go all the way to the Super Bowl, winning 4 straight games. He'd have to win the Super Bowl. He'd have to play excellent. He'd have to win Super Bowl MVP. But at the same time, that wasn't enough. At the exact same time, Patrick Mahomes would have to play like garbage.
And what do you know?
Dude, I swear we willed it into existence. Now that's a record. That's on record. I said that live. That's on one of my shows recorded live.
Congratulations, good job,
dude.
But
what happened was the morning I woke up, I sent it to one of the other Legion guys. We call him the Red Coat, and he's an engineer. So me and him, I always check my math with him. And I said to him, I said, dude, we got a problem. He goes, what? I was like, Patrick Mahomes didn't win. It's Tom. Now, see, we were prepared to send the trophy to Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all excited. I told Milena, I was like, we're ready to do this. Sending it to Patrick would give us heavy credibility, right? So I was happy to send it to Patrick.
Okay.
But Tom pops up, wins the thing, and now it looks like we're being a homer or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, this actually kind of blew up in my face. Like Tom totally wrecked this whole thing. But I swear, man, 100%. It's true. It's what Tom's the GOAT, man. So he wrecked it. Yeah. So
100%. Great.
It's been obvious for many years now.
Yeah.
But I just want to say Aaron got fourth, finished fourth.
I remember that. I saw that special.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Aaron had we have a different strength of schedule than what they do. This is based on a 4-week rotation because a team is only as good as your last 4 weeks, to be honest with you. Why give someone a strength of schedule to play a team in week 1 when they're not the same team in week 16, right? So we do it like that. And Aaron had the weakest strength of schedule of all of the top 10 players.
Yeah, schedule was cake. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
which explains why they beat the hell out of everyone. The hardest game I believe was Tennessee, and they beat the hell out of them too. So yeah,
you on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. So all right, let's get to the guide.
Mm-hmm.
So when we recorded our NFC South episode already, we literally spent 3 minutes on Tampa Bay.
Literally 3 minutes.
Because what the hell is there to talk about? They're literally the same team. So let's see if you can give us more insight than we could, because there's nothing to say.
Okay,
so,
here's my insight. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were done. Okay. Here's my insight. Antonio Brown is going to be back to the Antonio Brown that Ben Roethlisberger was playing with.
Ooh,
that's a different team.
That's
so
actually, yeah.
That's going to be the difference maker right there. And we haven't even seen what Mayo can do.
Yeah, OJ Mayo, I'm gonna tight end.
I don't even know what's going to happen there.
Not bad. Yeah.
Then I know Cameron Brate is injured right now, but we know what Cameron's capable of. So he'll be back. He'll be coming back fresh, right in time for the run up to the playoffs. So the defense, of course, is the defense, and they're now they know what they can do. Now, last year they were even Todd Bowles was experimenting with the defense, and now they know what they're capable of. Guys, if there were like 2 more games left of the season last year, let's pretend that it was like a 21 game season or 22 game season, it would have been scary with how that Super Bowl would have ended up. They hit their stride in the Super Bowl. Who does that? Who actually plays finally gets it right at the Super Bowl? Normally you've got it right, 4 or 5 games before that. But
you do like the New York Giants. Yeah, you get it right in December and then do your stupid run. No, they literally had their perfect game at the perfect time.
Right.
Yeah, like it was. I've never seen that before either. It was insane.
So they got through the Redskins defense. Make no mistake, that defense was pretty good. I know they didn't have a quarterback that night, but they had a good defense. They went through them. They went through the Saints. They went through the Packers, all on the road, and they weren't even clicking correctly. I mean, there's so many mistakes and so many, hang-ups and stuff. You could tell they were a new team. They were a new team playing together. And but that Super Bowl, dude, the only reason the Super Bowl is 31-9 and not like 48-9 is because they took the foot off the gas.
They chilled.
Rightfully so. That was smart. I was yelling that in the fourth quarter. I was like, okay, no more. We don't need to chuck the ball down the field. We don't need any of that Bruce Arians stuff anymore. Let's just hold it. But if they wanted to, it could have been worse. You remember that drive that got stopped because that offensive lineman dropped the touchdown pass?
Yeah.
And then they didn't call a sneak for Tom on fourth down. That should have been a touchdown. So you've got 38-9 theoretically. And then you remember that pass to Gronk? He got caught. He was on his way to the end zone, dude. That was another one, and then that resulted in Tom the pass, the snap going over his head. That ended up being 3 points. That should have been another 7 right there. This thing easily could have been the biggest embarrassment the Chiefs have ever seen. So,
I love
that. That's what the Bucs are capable of this year. That's the best way to say it. Is they were just getting good.
Yeah, now they got continuity. Now they have an off season. If they want to fix little tweaks here and there, they have an off season to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. This is why that was the shortest segment we've ever had, because what is there to say? They're going to be better than what they were.
Yeah, Trevor, Juan, they had no preseason. They had no preseason. Tom didn't have a preseason. They literally used the regular season as their training camp, and still won the Super Bowl. It's just mind-boggling, dude. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. And all with a head coach like Bruce Arians. Imagine if the head coach was Belichick or Tom Coughlin or someone like, imagine that. Imagine a facilitator like that. This would be a dynasty probably. They'd probably be going on like 3 or 4 Super Bowls straight, something like that. So
you mentioned a coach like Bruce Arians. Anyone who's been on your shows and on your thing knows your disdain, if I may use that word, on Bruce Arians. Would you like to talk about that real quick?
Okay. Bruce Arians is not a good facilitator as far as in the game, knowing what to do. He needs to stay out of the way. And he learned that after the Chiefs game. So after they lost in the Chiefs regular season game, he said, I got out of the way and I just let Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich do their thing. And they didn't lose a game after that. That right there should tell you everything you need to know about Bruce Arians. He's just there. He's just there. Okay, so you've got a defensive coordinator like Todd Bowles, who's been a head coach before, so you don't even need to manage the defense. You've got Tom Brady on the offense, so you don't need to manage the offense. So he just needs to stay out of the way. You know, I'm sure he's got value, but I'm talking in game. In game, he just needs to step back, and he admittedly did that. So it's not like I'm making something up here. So
no, definitely not.
Yeah,
I don't know your disdain was well noted all season. I remember all season last year, me dying laughing, looking at you like Bruce Arians, every time I just died laughing.
Dude. He was driving me nuts, man. I mean, listen, I know Bruce Arians' style. I watched him coach. He coached Carson Palmer. He coached Ben Roethlisberger. He coached Peyton Manning for a little bit. Andrew Luck, I think, briefly. I've seen this, and they always have a lot of yards, but a lot of stupid mistakes. His quarterbacks, a lot of dumb interceptions, a lot of ridiculous decision making, and I've seen it a million times. He's the reason that the Cardinals lost the NFC Championship game years ago to the Panthers.
Oh my gosh! I could have argued they should have lost to Green Bay. The round before that, mind you, Green Bay was decimated. Oh, that game. Yeah.
So that's my problem with him, is that he's arrogant, and he's got the arrogance as if he's got 6 rings when he didn't have any, and I don't like that kind of thing.
We were saying that in one of our episodes, like during last season, especially when the tension between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, especially when the media got wind of it, you know how they do, and I was saying the exact same thing. I remember talking to Warren about it on the show, saying, Bruce Arians, who the hell do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Telling I'm trying to come at Tom like that and everything. He's 6-time Super Bowl champion. Has more pull than anybody, because there was take that he didn't want Antonio Brown there. He didn't want Antonio Brown there, and Gronk over there coming back over there. How they didn't want him back over there? It was like, listen, this is Tom team. He has more pull than you have already, so you're gonna sit back and sit back and just coach and let him do his thing. But yeah, he was responsible for bringing all those people in anyway. It just seemed that he wanted to make it feel like it was his way of the highway, and Tom got his way, and they're working out anyway. So I'm getting in the line anyway. I remember saying that in one of the shows, saying, well, "Who do you think you are?" Like a huge rant on it too. Like shut up, coach, and call it a day. Like it's not necessary at the end of the day. But
yeah, the winners know what they're doing at the end of the day, and you let the winner do what he does, and look what happened. You have a ring now.
Yeah, I'm saying. I'm like, I was saying that too. I'm like, yeah, like besides, you won Coach of the Year a few times, which is great and all, but other than
which is crazy.
It's like, other than that, you don't have no Super Bowl. Before last year, you don't have no championship pedigree. Like, come on, like that would bother me last season with him and him. Like, that's why I'm thinking, oh damn, they may even win the championship, but because of how everything was going on, but they got it together and it worked for the most part.
Okay, first of all, his first Coach of the Year trophy was bullcrap. Okay, that was because Chuck Pagano had cancer. And he took over. It was story driven. Yeah, exactly. That Colts team was a great team. Okay. And it was a great team in 2012. Make no mistake. They tanked on purpose. All right. That was a good roster. Okay. So that was a good team. Bruce Arians, all he had to do was just let Andrew Luck be Andrew Luck. Okay. And it's a shame Andrew Luck's not playing anymore. He would have gone to the Hall of Fame. I'm certain. Okay.
I agree.
But he had that. And then the 2015 Cardinals, that roster was fantastic. And who did he have on defense? He had Todd Bowles designing the defense exactly the same thing. Todd Bowles is the one that probably should have gotten Coach of the Year for the Cardinals. Okay? And he had Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, a lot of guys, a lot of great players on that team as well. But they were just so awful the previous year that they threw them. If you notice, Coach of the Year always goes to some new coach that just arrived, who turned a crappy team into a decent team. It's never really okay. If we're going to give the Coach of the Year to what it really means, then Bill Belichick wins every year.
That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Basically. So it's like the MVP in the NBA.
I was just about to say,
if we really going to give it out, Michael Jordan wins the MVP every time just for showing up and lacing up his shoes. If we're going to give the MVP in the NFL, it's Tom Brady every year just for existing, just for having a heartbeat. Okay. If we're going to say valuable, okay, valuable. So listen, Tom Brady left the Patriots and their value dropped $1.5 billion.
Dude,
and it raised the Tampa Bay Buccaneers almost $1 billion.
Of course.
Who's the most valuable player?
Literally, based on dollar signs alone, who's the most valuable player? Literally.
Yeah, but anyway, so those Coach of the Years for Bruce Arians are not very. They're very suspect. Okay, go look at the last 15 Coach of the Years and show me the ones that actually deserved it or are doing anything right now in the league. You'd be surprised how weird it is. But second of all, what you were saying just now, Trevor, is something people forget. The general manager of the Bucs, Jason Light, he used to work for the Patriots. He used to work for us. A lot of people, I don't think, realize that, but
that explains a lot.
Yeah, he's the one that got Tom. He's the one that gave Tom whatever he wanted, and I don't think. And he's also the guy who's got this team all under the salary cap. And he deserves some recognition that I don't think he gets enough, honestly.
And he needs to have that team and be able to still have a little bit of money left over is probably the hardest thing because Saints turns hell didn't do that. So it's hard to do what he did. It very difficult.
I don't know how he did it, honestly, but he deserves props. But Belichick is a master at the salary cap, so I'm sure he learned something from Bill.
Must have.
But,
by the way, people who were watching, you guys can comment right there. If you want to get on the show, you can totally join. By the way, the link should be in every group I shared it in on our profiles. So if you guys want to come in, please, you are more than welcome to join us. Anyway,
I tried to post a link. I don't know if anyone's seeing it right now.
No, a few have because there was some people trying to join at the bottom of the screen. I've seen people try to join in.
Okay, I was not paying attention. I wish you would told me.
No.
And there was.
I thought it was like a glitch. What is that? Like, oh, they're trying to come in.
There's a video, right, that's going to be recorded of this. You said on Facebook?
Yes, it should be.
Okay. So, yeah, we can just re-upload that to YouTube. And then everybody who missed it can see it. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Going live is tricky. So when I do the VAS live show, the comment section on YouTube, it's just going real fast. And
it does.
I can't keep up. It's hard to run the show and read everybody's comments, and so it's nice just to be the guest and not have to run the show.
Yeah,
and I can just talk.
Yeah, you could just chill out. Yeah, exactly. Because if you do this on Facebook Live, you probably have more people. It's tough.
Oh yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, a lot of our Facebook Live shows, our draft shows are like that too. With just everything coming all at once. It was fun. It was so much fun though. Everything coming all at once though.
I was drinking at the same time, didn't help either. But yeah. All right.
I put a $20 Facebook ad out just to kind of get it rolling. To get you guys some to get this going a bit. But we need a lot of independent sports shows, and
I agree.
People need to work together. They need to start networking because if people are trying to do their own thing all the time and not helping each other, the big guys are always going to win. So.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. We got you. We had a Phillies podcast last Friday. We're gonna have a Patriots one. There's another one. The Bills podcast we're gonna be with them basically all season. We're really trying to do exactly what you're aiming for too. Trying to connect with other podcasters, other YouTubers, and get this thing going because ESPN needs to get kicked out the damn door. So yes, I agree, 100%.
Especially what we stand for. Especially, we feel that sport. We talked about it on our show too. That sports media, the conventional sports media, is dead. You see ESPN.
Yep.
With their things going on, Fox Sports 1. I mean, NBC Sports is pretty. I think it's pretty good, but it's not. It's pretty good though. But it's like the conventional sports media is dead, and I always wanted to have go on one of these shows and give my opinion on certain things. So
we never could.
Which is good for me because it's like now I make a platform where not only do we all love sports, we get to ask people who love sports just as much as we do, and they have a platform to talk about it.
And we give it to them. And we got 2 interviews after this. We got 2 interviews to put up later with random fans.
So, which is awesome. So it's like it makes the viewer feel like, okay, we're part of something. We're part of I don't want to say a movement, but like you're part of something.
It's close to a movement, actually. It's not wrong to say that, I think. Let the fans take over.
Yeah, I agree. So that's what we do here, and we literally encourage, like I said, in our group, people post like memes and stuff like that. Some of them are hilarious. And it's like, hey, post whatever you want. Post as long as it's sports related, you can post it.
Express yourself,
which is what we encourage all the time. So I'm really happy that we're able to because like I said, I love networking with people, meeting new people, being different fan bases there. Like, so that's kind of like this is awesome. So I'm really happy that we're able to put a platform out there for people to be themselves and show themselves.
I did something like this for a show one time, and it was a disaster. I'm never going to do it again. It was this guy who's a big Patriots fan. He has like Patriot jerseys all over the wall, everything. And he asked me to come on the show, and basically it was so unprofessional. You know how you guys like are asking me questions and letting me talk and just basic, discourse, right?
Okay. Of course, that's how it's supposed to be.
I was doing that, and all they wanted to do was just talk about how great all the Patriots were. Didn't want to talk about any problems or any of the good positives or negatives. They didn't want to have any discussion, and it was a bunch of toilet humor and stupid jokes. And I was like, I can't believe this, and I was ready to get off as soon as I could, But it wasn't. It didn't go well. But this guy was too busy trying to do his own thing. He doesn't want to build a community. He thinks that he's a rock star, and I'm like, dude, you're
gonna fail, dude.
Yeah. What are you trying to do here? Nobody wins alone. Nobody achieves anything alone, especially independently like this. So we're up against a big conglomerate like ESPN and FS1 and stuff. Hey, speaking of FS1, you guys see the blow up between Skip and that girl, the moderator on Undisputed.
Really?
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think there's none of that garbage, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So she went off script and started going after Skip because he had mentioned something about Mike McCarthy's being overweight, and she took it personally and started talking junk to him. And it was weird because she said, I'm allowed to have an opinion on this show too, Skip, and blah, blah, blah. And I just found it weird because she's the moderator. And the definition of moderator is to not have an opinion.
Yes. He pushes sit there, ask the questions, that's it. Like, that's usually what it is.
I think especially that's a big problem, especially on First Take with Molly.
Molly. Oh my God. Shut up, Molly.
Like this is to the point where it's unbearable. Now, in the early stage of the First Take, when Jamel Hill was there, with Skip and Stephen A., I thought they was a good feel because she knows sports. She's a journalist. She knows what she's talking about, and a lot of times she felt like, yeah, you were the moderator, but she's also getting her opinions in, trying to add to conversation. Now, though it was good because she knows what she's talking about. It did rub people. It's like, okay, you're the moderator. You're supposed to, give us the topic and we discuss it. You just put it. But I get it. I understand it. But it's like you're not really doing what you're supposed to do at the end of the day.
Wait, Jamel Hill. Don't you mean Kerry Champion?
No. Jamel Hill in the early stages of First Take, like 2012, 2013. This is before Kerry Chapman came on.
I don't remember Jamel.
I remember a guy. I don't know his name, but I know there was a dude before Kerry Champion.
No, it was before they rebranded. Before they rebranded.
I guess when it first.
Oh yeah. Because if you guys remember, it used to be called Cold Pizza First and 10. It used to be called First and 10.
I remember First and 10.
It was Skip. It was Skip and Woody Page.
Woody Page,
who writes for the Denver Post. Yeah.
I'm saying that. I think this is when Stephen A. Smith became a full-time member of the show. Because before,
you're going way back. Yeah.
Around 2012. When they rebranded it, Jamel Hill.
That's when it was good back then.
Yeah, Jamel Hill was the moderator for a little while, but she kept clashing with Skip because she would clash with him and say, all right, especially when they have like debates, like the point was embrace debates, and she literally embraced it, and it was I thought it was good, but Molly Karam is like, it's one thing to interrupt people and add a little input, but you literally add nothing to the show. Like, and again, people may say, "Oh, call it sexist," and "Oh, you don't want a woman." That's nothing to do with. That's nothing to do with that. She literally adds no content or nothing to these shows. So why is she there? I enjoy it better when there's somebody else there. I think Molly Karam is completely unbearable to listen to.
I know. It has nothing to do with them being female, okay? It's that job title of moderator is to make sure that both guys debating or whoever's debating gets their time, and you keep them in line, you keep the show moving, you introduce the topics. Your job is not to have an opinion. Listen, Joy Taylor, who I think was the best moderator we've ever had, she didn't want to be moderator anymore. She wanted an opinion. So what did she do? She left the position of moderator, went to Colin Coward's, to where she's got an opinion. Okay. So if this girl, I can't remember her name right offhand, but if she wants an opinion, if she wants to sit on a different side of the desk, I'm more than happy to listen to her. I'm more than happy to see what she's got to say. But as long as she's sitting in the moderator's desk, she needs to keep her mouth shut. I don't care who it is. I don't care if Skip decides to be moderator, I'm going to expect him to keep his mouth shut.
I gotcha.
So it's your job, dude. Like, if the moderator's got an opinion, then who the hell is the moderator?
It's true.
That's true. Perfect logic.
I don't understand. Then whoever the moderator's side is you're taking, whoever side the moderator's taking, then that other person is outnumbered 2-1.
Handicap. Yeah.
So there you go.
Makes any damn sense.
Yeah.
All right. Football. The NFC South. Let's talk about the state of that division then, since we don't have to talk about Tampa Bay anymore because they're like damn near perfect. So whatever. So the rest of it's true. So the rest of the division, so Saints, they're losing Drew Brees and Michael Thomas is wang crying. And then, that's going on over there. Then we got Falcons rebuilding for like the 14th time. And then we got Carolina, who's got Sam Darnold. Now they're trying to make something happen with that and trying to build their defense. So what is your opinion on the state of the NFC South, not including Tampa Bay?
Well, for 20 years, we heard that Tom Brady plays in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an easy division. And I've always argued that it's an easy division. Sorry for doing that. But it's an easy division because Tom Brady is in it. They're not having to play. Tom Brady's not having to play Tom Brady and the Patriots.
I've always said that. It's like you got 2 losses for each team. So that's why it's easy, but they beat everybody else. Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
Right. So then they said, if he was in the NFC, he wouldn't have as many rings. He wouldn't win as much and all that stuff. He goes to the NFC South, which has been a very tough division, a very good division.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they even lost 2 times to the Saints last year.
They did.
But now everyone's jumping ship like cockroaches on a sinking boat. Okay. And now everyone's saying, the NFC South is not any good. Of course. Have you noticed something? The teams lose their minds when you've got someone like that in their division. It's not Tom's fault. When Tom moved to the NFC South, they were still good. The Saints were still pegged as one of the Super Bowl contenders. One of the more so than the Bucs, right?
Yeah.
The Panthers were considered up and coming, and the Falcons, as long as they've got Matt Ryan, they've got a chance. As long as you've got an elite quarterback, you've got a chance, right?
Yep.
But now Tom has wrecked that division. So what do you do? You know?
Yeah, what do you do? That's what I'm saying.
So now people are saying, oh, Tom's in the easy division. Oh, see, he can't win. He can't win. No matter where he goes, he can't win. Let me tell you something. His best record is against the NFC North. So let's say that he moves to the Vikings. Then what happens? Aaron Rodgers gets traded out of Green Bay next year. You see what I mean? This just keeps happening. Like, Tom can't win no matter what. Tom leaves the AFC East, and now all of a sudden the Bills are good. Now all of a sudden the Dolphins, people are talking about the Dolphins coming up. That's mightily convenient, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wait, the Bills are coming up because they are not being beaten down, all right, by Tom every year. Okay, so that's and the Patriots, we had a hiccup last year, and people need to recognize that it's not over. Okay, but I know we're talking about NFC South, so like I said, I can go off. I can go off sometimes. But NFC South, so the Saints are in trouble. I think they're making the best out of a situation, a bad situation, which was salary cap trouble and Drew Brees. Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's not Drew didn't know that he was going to deteriorate so fast like he did. But had he retired last year, then Tom Brady would have played for the Saints. And that everything would have changed.
There was a lot about that.
Yeah, so the Saints would have been in a different position right now. But they're in salary cap hell. So whatever they do this year is a reflection of that. So that's good for the Bucs. The Panthers and Sam Darnold. Well, we've not really seen what Sam Darnold can do yet, I don't think. He was on the Jets, and what can you do with the Jets, right? Like, it's the Jets. So that's a question mark. We've got to – I think we'll know in preseason. I think after the 3 preseason games, it'll kind of give us an idea of how things are coming together. And the Falcons, I'll keep saying it. The Falcons, 1 year they're good. 1 year they act like they've got something going, and the next year they're complete garbage. Mm-hmm. But as long as you've got an elite quarterback, you've got a chance. So I would always treat Atlanta as a good team. Okay? Last year's record means nothing. Every single year that turns over is a new team. It's a new philosophy. It's a new direction. Even if it's the same coaching staff, which they have a new coach, but even if they didn't, new roster, different players, different chemistry. Mm-hmm. So I would fear any team that has an elite quarterback. So I would say the NFC South is the Bucs for the taking. It's theirs to lose, basically.
I don't think it's particularly close. I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay is gonna chill for a few games.
Yeah,
let some go, and still wind up winning 13. So that's literally my guess.
And Jameis Winston, he's got to show up. If he doesn't show up for Sean Payton, who's one of the greatest offensive minds in the league right now, if you can't show up for Sean Payton, then you were the number 1 draft pick. Okay, so if you can't do it now, it pretty much says who you are, right? Mm-hmm.
So do you honestly believe there's a quarterback controversy there, especially with the absence of Michael Thomas as of right now? I don't even know who their starting receiver will be. So do you think there's an actual controversy between Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston?
No. It's
I'm not trying to buy that.
No, it's Winston. It's Jameis's job. It's his. He's been a starting quarterback. Other than last year, he's been a starting quarterback for how long has it been now? He was drafted 7 years ago?
Yeah, since 2015.
It's 2015. It's that recent. Yeah. Okay, so 7 exactly. Well, it's 6, and so he understands how to lead a team, lead an offense, all that stuff. You're going to go with him first, no matter what. So yeah, it's Jameis's job. Taysom Hill's still going to be a gadget player. Yeah.
Just want to make sure, all that buzz going on. You know how the media works.
No, we were talking to the Saints fans while doing this thing, and a lot of Saints fans are pretty convinced that Jameis will start the job anyway. I guess you have some people like, oh, it's Taysom Hill's job. I'm like, well, they're paying him $100 million, which I don't understand why. But I mean, I think even though Jameis should start, something telling me that Taysom Hill will be the week 1 starter against Green Bay. I think he will because they're paying him all this money, so you're not going to pay a backup that much money, which technically they did. But technically they did. But something tells me that he's going to be started in week 1. Which I don't understand it either. But yeah,
that would be interesting. But if I was Peyton, I would start out with the guy who has done it for years and years, who knows what to do and knows. Also keep in mind he had that touchdown pass in the divisional game against the Bucs, and people are going to remember that. And I think Sean likes having Taysom Hill come off the bench and do some random stuff. I think he likes that surprise. Now, I'm not saying that Taysom Hill won't eventually be the quarterback. He could be if Jameis sucks. But I think, okay, so Jameis had laser surgery. If his vision was bad all these years, that's a big deal. Before I got laser eye surgery, I remember if I was looking downfield at a bunch of players, I would get them confused too. That's a valid excuse. It actually is. So if he got that fixed, and he's under a great offensive coordinator like Peyton, it's Jameis Winston's job as long as he doesn't mess it up. Okay. Now I just want to put a disclaimer there. If in preseason, if he's garbage, that changes. But as of right now, I expect Jameis Winston to be the starter.
Gotcha. It's Patriot time.
Yes.
It's Patriot time. So last year, I'm almost ready to throw that away because, opt-outs.
You have to.
COVID, injuries, everything under the damn sun. Yeah. We got to get rid of. So with everybody coming back, Hightower, with all the crazy additions, which is the most busy Belichick has ever been in an offseason, ever, with a drafted quarterback in Mac Jones competing with Cam Newton. Let's go with what are we expecting to see today? Because the preseason game is an hour and a half. What are we looking for in this game today? Let's go with that before we start talking about
quarterback. I know that's the easy answer, but it's got to be quarterback. We got to see what Cam has done and it's good that they're playing Washington because they're going to want to test their pass rush there. So we're probably going to get to see Cam get pushed very fast, and that's going to show us something what they intend to do. I don't believe in giving the rookie the ball in week 1. It fails too much. And honestly, one of the only few guys that ever worked out for was Peyton Manning, but that could have gone seriously wrong if he wasn't more mentally tough. His rookie year, 98, they went 3-13. He set the record for most interceptions. If he wasn't the son of Archie Manning, if he was just some other guy that happened to, I think that destroys him.
If he was, yeah.
Exactly. If he was Ryan Leaf or someone like that, but he had that father that could tell him, hey, to keep him mentally set. But it rarely works out. It worked out for Andrew Luck only because the Colts were a good team. They were not that crappy team like I just said a while ago. So that was good for him in that way. But it's very rare, man. It's very rare. I don't want to ruin Mac Jones right off the bat. There's too much pressure the pressure. Maybe people aren't saying it, but if he starts week 1, they're going to expect Tom Brady. They're going to expect the next Tom Brady, and that is not going to work. Even the great Patrick Mahomes, the Messiah or whatever the hell they want to make him. Okay, even he's set for a year. Okay, Aaron Rodgers set for 3. Tom set for 1. Okay, it's not. It just unless Cam is just complete garbage, it's got to be Cam to start the season. It's got to be. But I think he's going to be better, man. I could feel it. Something is different. Something's different, and I I read body language. I read people's demeanor and what they say and how they say it. I'm telling you, Cam feels good about himself. So I think he knows something we might not know, but we'll find out tonight. I want to see. Tonight will show us something. It won't show us everything, but it'll show us something. But that's what I'm looking at. Dude, the defense is the defense. As long as Belichick's the coach there, I don't even care. I don't even need to worry about it. We got the man back, Dante Hightower. What else do you need to hear? Okay. So that's our Tom Brady on the defense. Okay. So we've got him. We're good. I'm not even worried. It's the offense that is a dumpster fire. Okay. From last year. The offense is the problem. The offense was bad in 2019. Okay. And Tom took them 12-4. All right. So that's what I'm worried about. Not worried. I'm sorry. That's what we're wanting to look at. But last year doesn't matter. Last year doesn't exist. Okay. And I preached that all in 2020. I said this season, back then, I said the season doesn't matter. Okay. We said it was going to be garbage. I told everybody every week after we would lose, every week I said, when I would dress up like Cam Newton after games, I'd say, listen, guys, next year is our year. Next year is the salary cap clears up. We're strapped. We've got dead money. We've got all these things going on. We've got the COVID opt-outs. We not only do you lose the greatest quarterback of all time, but you also lose Dante Hightower on the defense the same season. Come on, really? All right. So what are you expecting here? And we had crappy offensive players. Julian was hurt. Julian was playing hurt the whole season. It's just not working. It's just not working. And this is going to be different now. It's going to be different now. I'm expecting. All right, I'll put it this way. I'll be disappointed if we're not 11-6.
That's basically where I think we're going to be 11-6.
Yeah. If we're worse than that, I'm going to be disappointed because I think this team is that capable. Okay, we have the greatest coach of all time. We better be 11-6. Okay. So look, last year he took the Patriots 7-9, and that honestly, guys, that might be the worst offensive team I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
got 7 wins to be honest. To be honest,
and those 7 wins easily could have been 9-7. There were 2 games that we lost because of just last minute, bad mistakes, mental errors, and things like that I expect would be cleaned up. Now, let's also defend Cam a little bit here. He didn't have a preseason. So he went from Carolina to New England, learning. And New England is the most complex system in the league. Everyone knows it. It's notorious for that. They call everything weirdly, and they have like 14 names for the same play, except one thing has been altered. Okay, so it's not easy. And Cam, I know Tom did it, but Cam is not Tom. And holding him to that standard is ridiculous. So Tom is Tom. But even when Peyton went to Denver, Peyton ran his system the way he wanted to.
Yeah, he did.
So that's not the same thing. Okay. But it's just different now. So Cam's had a training camp. If Cam can be anything like he was in 2015, 16, 17, that time frame, guys, we could make it to the Super Bowl. if Cam is that Cam. I don't know if he can be, but if he could, the sky's the limit there. So
yeah, because from what I'm concerned, I don't see why the AFC can't be wide open. Kansas City is gonna do Kansas City things and make a second or maybe a third round, but as far as the next team that will play them, I don't see why anybody can make it. You know what I mean? Like, why not the Bills? Why not Patriots? Why not the Colts if they can get their injuries in order? Why can't
why not Cleveland?
Why not Cleveland? Yeah, like the AFC to me is wide open. I don't really see why not. So
and people are sleeping on Baltimore. Yeah. Never sleep on Baltimore.
I always sleep on Baltimore. So
they are the weirdest. They are the weirdest team. Okay, think about them. Every year, no matter how good their record was or how bad their record is, they always are hard to defeat. They're always hard to play. They're the weirdest team. They've gone more than 20 years never having a real elite quarterback that you would think of. You don't think of them as having an elite quarterback. And they got 2 Super Bowls, man. And they're just a weird team. I never count the Ravens out. I don't care who their quarterback is or how bad they're doing or whatever. I do not expect Lamar Jackson to play like he did last year. I don't. I believe that he has corrected some things. So don't count them out, and never count the Steelers out. I don't know why, but people do not give Mike Tomlin the credit he deserves. Okay? I don't like the Steelers as a Patriots fan. It makes me sick to compliment the Steelers. But for some reason, I don't know why, whatever, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season with that Steelers team, no matter who his quarterback is. I mean, remember 2 years ago when Roethlisberger was out and they had like a guy named Duck as their quarterback? And they still went eight? They went 8-8, right?
Well, a game or two behind the wild card spot.
I mean, come on, man. So, and then Ben, last year I said Ben was dark horse for MVP. He threw he had great stats last year. One of his best career years he's ever had.
Yeah. So
look for them to make some noise again. Dude, this is not Kansas City. People keep crowning these guys.
I know. I can't stand it either.
The Bucs defense was getting to Mahomes with 4 dudes. 4. They were blitzing him with 4 guys. I mean, they were simulating a blitz, is what I mean. Unbelievable. People are going to see that now. And they go, they fixed the offensive line. Oh, really? Did you?
Did they?
Because if Alex Smith was playing in that Super Bowl, they score more than 9 points. And you know why I know that? Because Alex would have taken his checkdowns. Allen would have followed his reads.
Yeah.
Alex would have dumped off to his running back. Yeah, go back and watch that Super Bowl, man.
No,
look how many open.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like, I deem it backyard football. He never did that backyard football garbage that Mahomes them love to run. The snap and roll out and run around, do to a little toodle dumb moves while people are he's like right here open. You see the running back right here open, and he just loves to run around, act like he's in peril when he's not. Because Aaron Rodgers do this a lot back in the day too. I don't understand it, but he used to run around and then try to go for the deep bomb instead of being smart. I agree 100% with what you're talking about. I hate that. That's why I don't like them either. I hate how they play football, and it makes me want to, like, Andy Reid. What the hell? Like, oh my God,
So the average snap, okay, so on an average pass play, you can only expect your offensive line to hold the line for what, 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're running around like an idiot, what are you doing to your offensive line? And then you go and blame them. That's not their job. Their job is not so you can run around. Okay. Their job is so you can get rid of the football. Get rid of it. Okay. He doesn't know how. He did not know how. He wasn't trained to do that, or he hasn't worked on, I don't know, whatever it is, but that was on him. Okay. So put in a different quarterback who knows those things, and that game is not so lopsided. And they're not getting to you with 4 guys. Okay. You cannot throw out. You have to throw them out of that. You have to. You can't. There's just you're gonna have to take those short, and you're gonna have to run the ball a bit. But I just want to make one point for people who think that the Chiefs couldn't have done that. When Tom Brady was down 28-3 against the Falcons in the Super Bowl in the second half, can you remember one deep throw that Tom threw in the second half? I can't.
I can think of 2, maybe 15-yardish ones. Like, I remember there's one to Hogan, and then there was the pass interference on Martellus Bennett to set up the game when he touched down. That's the only two I can think of.
And they were the Hogan one was wide open, like he was.
Yeah, he was by himself.
For the first down. Right.
Yeah,
but not once. But yet they came back and won. How? So see, the Chiefs thought that they had to get the Chiefs thought that they had to get 1 touchdown in 1 play. When you don't have to do that, dude, take the first down. Tire the defense out. The Bucs defense, they were like, dude, this is too easy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs the Bucs showed the league what to do if you've got the personnel. If you've got the personnel, you can take out the Chiefs. And the Bills got the personnel to do that. They know what to do now.
That's why I was so mad at them at the AFC Championship, because they should have did that. But that's a different discussion for another day. I love how you say personnel and what to do, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that coach in New England kind of showed how to do it first. Because if you look at the first time they played, they allowed 40. It was the first time, whatever. Yep. You go to the AFC Championship game in 2018. They didn't score until when? The third quarter? Yep. Then they played in 2019. Did they even score 25?
Nope.
I don't think so. And then if it wasn't for COVID and injuries, they would have scored even less last year. Because if you gotta remember, everybody remembers that last game last year when they played. Like, but 2 days before the game, they had to reschedule the game for Monday.
Yep.
And Cam was out, Stephon Gilmore was out. All those guys were out because everybody caught COVID.
Then Brian Hoyer.
And how long it took the Chiefs to score 20? Like 3 quarters and a half? Mm-hmm. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe Belichick was the first to show how to beat them. If my memory serves me right.
You're right. And people were saying that. I remember people started saying that after like the third Chiefs Patriots matchup, and it's absolutely true. You got a very good point there. That it was Belichick who did that, and also people don't understand that Belichick showed how to beat the Ravens.
Yeah,
do you remember 2019 when we went to Baltimore and we lost that game? That was a heartbreaker.
Second half,
but that second half, yes. That was a reveal right there. And then now that Ravens have kind of been figured out since then.
They've been stagnant. They haven't changed nothing yet. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm expecting them to finally do that. But yeah, you're right, man. And I just don't think it's the Chiefs conference anymore that easily.
No, I agree with
you. I mean, I take them seriously. Right now, they're still the number one contender because they are the AFC champions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's so simple now. Okay. By the way, the Chiefs have never had to go through anybody, none of the legendary teams and none of the past great quarterbacks. They've not had to beat Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin's Steelers to get to the Super Bowl. They've not had to beat Belichick and Brady to get to the Super Bowl. So we need to see them tested. Okay.
Yep.
Like I want to see them tested, and this year is going to be that defining moment to see how good they are.
Yeah,
I want to know. Yeah,
because when you go back in 2018, like you say, we played the Colts when Andrew Luck, I guess, had a steel arm, so when it got cold, he couldn't throw. Because if I remember correctly, that Indy defense played them tough, and they also did it in 2019 too. They played them tough. Then they had to play Tom Brady and Patriots, and they lost. So then
Jacoby Brissett and the Colts beat them.
They did the following year. You're right. Exactly.
Yes.
The Indy is another team that knows how to defend that type of an offense. Yep. Then the following year, they played the AFC South. Joke. Then, come on, dude. The Texans and the Titans. Stop it. And then the next year, they played Cleveland, who was their first time in the playoffs since when? When was I born yet? I don't even know.
What year were you born? I can tell you.
In 1992. They were in the playoffs when I was born. But I'm just
they won one game in 94. That was with Belichick. Yeah.
Yes, I was 2 years old. And then they played the Bills. Again, another team was the first time they've been in the playoffs since when? Since the 99? Yeah, 99? Exactly.
Yeah.
So again, like goes to your point, they haven't been tested by real experienced guys yet.
Yeah. And they're not. They weren't playing against Josh Allen in year 7. Josh Allen has not even reached
his potential yet.
What he could be.
No.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just trying to say that I have not seen them really tested. I just haven't. The only time I ever saw them tested was against Brady and Belichick in 2018 in the regular season. They lost that game. The Chiefs lost that game. And then they were tested in the AFC Championship game at home, and they lost that game. That's the only time I've ever seen them tested in the AFC side. And they lost both times. So, come on, man. I mean.
Yeah. And in their Super Bowls, they sucked both games. You know what I'm saying? So
I still don't understand how the 49ers lost that. I don't understand it at all. I mean, come on, man. That was dude. The 49ers were playing so good. They were just playing so great. I thought, man, Jimmy G, baby, It's another victory for the Patriots nation because Jimmy is our boy. We raised him. It's and he took that to the 49ers, and he's going to win a ring. And I just thought that legacy is going to continue, and somehow it all fell apart. I know.
Yeah.
That one's still rough.
Yeah, so 49er fans are pissed to this day. We had an interview with one of them 2 days ago, and she made sure to mention her disdain for that game. They still, and if I was a fan of them, I'll still be that way too. I think it took me 10 years to stop talking about 2007.
I still haven't gotten over it to this day. I've not gotten over it. I can't watch Super Bowl 42 highlights when they should. I can't watch it. I can't do it. 46-2. But 42 really, to this day, I'm still not
52 pisses me off more than the other two. That Philly game was absolutely...
Oh, no.
Yeah. 52 makes me angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
okay? it. 52 makes me angry because that was a free ring. All right? That was ours, easily. That should have been a blowout. That should have been a blowout. That should have been like 41, 42. It should have looked like the Bucks... Chiefs. Okay. Now, Super Bowl 42 doesn't make me angry. It just depresses me. There's a difference.
There's a huge difference. I agree.
But we lost to a team that just had our number.
Yeah, they did.
They played great. Listen, it's not like we lost to a bunch of punk asses. We lost to Tom Coughlin. We lost to a Manning. I know, it's not Peyton, but it's a Manning. We lost to Michael Strahan and Justin Tuck and Osi Umenyiora.
Yep.
These are good guys. These are awesome players. So that was, and then 2011 Super Bowl 46 doesn't bother me that much because I thought we were the worst team. I thought the Giants were better than us.
I agree.
We should not be Baltimore.
Yeah. We both.
Yeah. What were we doing in that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
31st ranked defense. And Tom Brady dragged them into that Super Bowl, kicking and screaming, and we still almost won that dead thing.
That was the closest I've ever seen somebody win the Super Bowl by themselves. The closest. That and 52 were the 2 times. I've never seen anybody close to anyone by themselves. That was the 2 times.
Yeah. I just thought we were lucky to be there, and I thought the Giants were better than us before the game started. They were a better team.
I picked the Giants when I knew. I said deja vu. That's literally what I said. Yeah. Deja vu.
It's a bad matchup that year. I wish we could have seen them in 2014. That would have been cool. But
not been even close. I'm sorry.
But the Super Bowl 52 against the Eagles, that one makes me mad because it didn't need to happen. That pisses me off. But an interesting something interesting. Do you know that a Patriots quarterback has started the Super Bowl ever since 2015 or 2014? I'm sorry, 2014. The last 7 Super Bowls has a Patriots quarterback starting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we've been in all of them almost.
Yeah.
So 14. So 14, you've got Brady. 15, you got Cam Newton. 2016 and 2017 and 2018 are all Tom. 2019 is Jimmy Garoppolo. 2020 is Tom Brady. Dude, Patriots, man. See, we're everywhere. It doesn't matter.
We rule the world. Okay. I love it. All right. So let's go with. You have a favorite add-on that we got, like an acquisition, like any one of our free agent signings or draftees, anyone that you like, that you're like, yes, when we did it?
Honestly, don't laugh. Nelson Aguilar.
I had a feeling he was going to say that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Which I've heard he's absolutely killing it. Can't by the way.
I've heard too.
I heard he's by far the best receiver we got.
I've watched him over the years. I watched him on the Eagles. I watched him on the Raiders, and people make fun of him because of that Philly guy. Remember that newscast where the Philly guy made fun of him, and that stuck to him. That has nothing to do with him as a player, and I think we got a steal. I think we got a great wide receiver for
open. He runs crisp routes, dude. That's why he used to piss me off, because he would drop a lot of passes. I'm like, dude, you do the hard part. Like, catch.
Yes, right.
Ass on the route tree. So why don't you catch? But if he catches the ball here, people have a problem.
That's what I'm saying. The hardest part of being a wide receiver is getting open and understanding how to run a route. The easiest part of being a receiver is catching the ball. You could work on that. Just don't take your eyes off the ball. If you don't take your eyes off the ball, you can't drop it. I swear to God. Guys, try it out. Go outside, throw a football. If you don't take your eyes off of the ball, the moment it reaches your hands, you will not drop that thing. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Watch an NFL game. Watch tonight. Someone's going to drop a ball, and then watch the replay. And I bet this is what he did. Like at the moment of impact, he goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he drops it. Don't do that. And I'm sure Belichick has got that out of him. So, well, he better if he wants to make the team. So.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think he is the most important because that was the worst position we suffered from.
It's not
so
even
naturally it has to be that.
So speaking of wide receiver and training camp, what do you think about this N'Keal Harry buzz? I'm not talking about him wanting to get traded. I hear that he actually is playing very well in training camp too. And this is technically his first one, like full. So what do you think about the N'Keal Harry stuff?
Yeah, that's right, because he was injured in 2019, his rookie year, and then there was no preseason last year. Wow, that's interesting. But when he got drafted, I was so excited. I even made a video about the Brady Harry connection that could be. You know, he reminded me of Anquan Bolden type, a guy who can just muscle his way up to the ball, hard worker.
Bolden, bro.
You know, that kind of like that. So. I think if he can be what I thought he could be, guys, I mean, we're gonna be awesome. It's just got to come together. So
the perfect pair too, because if he was to be like that, and then we have Aguilar, who's basically the other way around.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. So before a little bit of a tangent, you mentioned Anquan Bolden. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's eligible to be a Hall of Famer next year. What do you think? I know you think he's Hall of Famer. I know that. But do you think it's actually going to happen? Because you know how the stupid Hall of Fame voting works, whatever. So do you think he actually has a shot to be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I think he has a shot. My opinion on the Hall of Fame is probably different than most people's. If I had my way, I would kick out probably 60 to 65% of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think it's littered and oversaturated, and I would love to go back in time and remove like half of those Green Bay Packers teams from 1955 or what the hell it is. It's just ridiculous, right? You keep Bart Starr, okay? I get it.
Okay.
But there's a lot of guys on there that it's like there was nobody to really put into the Hall of Fame. But then now in the last 20 years, we've been inducting just people who don't deserve it. So that's my opinion on that is different. But if we're going by what their rules are and what I've seen them do, Anquan Bolden is definitely a Hall of Famer. They just put in Isaac Bruce. Megatron just got first ballot.
Thank you. Okay, I was waiting for that because we made a whole episode based on that because that was ridiculous. Play losing football his whole damn career. Mind you, Julio Jones and Antonio Brown got better numbers than him playing the same time. Mm-hmm. And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Thank you. I'm happy I'm not the only one. That made my day.
And it's going to make it worse. Terrell Owens had to wait 3 seasons.
Which to this day bothers me to this day. Like
Marvin Harrison had to wait like mad years too.
Had to wait too.
His name is all over the record books, by the way, and had Subo.
Terrell Owens is top 3 in everything that's relevant for a wide receiver.
No question.
And he had to wait 3 years. I mean, that's just what are you doing back there, Milena? I just see her like sneaking across the back. But I mean, the Hall of Fame has discredited themselves, and they just put Bill Cowher in. Can anyone explain this to me? Okay, so can I explain my reasoning why I feel the way about the Hall of Fame?
Please.
The Hall of Fame, this is how I see it. When you are given a bust and you're put in there, there is no difference. There is nothing on the wall says that you are better than the other guy. It doesn't say if you're first ballot or not. It doesn't say that you're the greatest of these guys. Everyone is on equal footing. It's just you're in there. It means that you are a great. Correct? Mm-hmm. So you put Bill Cowher in there. That means that he is on the same level as Vince Lombardi, as Paul Brown, as Bill Walsh, as soon to be Bill Belichick. Really? Are we saying that now? And then they want to put quarterbacks, like they want to put Eli Manning in. They want to put Phillip Rivers in. Are we really going to say that him and Tom Brady belong in the same room? Him and Peyton, him and Montana? With Montana and Peyton, really?
We had conversations about Eli Manning as well, and we spoke about it before. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of cases, I said the reason why they're saying Eli Manning is the first ballot Hall of Fame because who he beat in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you, him winning those 2 Super Bowls against an undefeated Patriot team in 2007, and being
he should have threw a game-losing pick too.
Which if Asante Samuel catches the interception, the game is over. You know what I'm saying? So game-sealing interception is over. But I'm saying, we talk about Eli Manning is the first ballot Hall of Fame. I'm like, you're only saying that because he has a two-time Super Bowl champion, and it's all about who he beat.
Mind you, he was rarely ever considered, if not ever, top quarterback. Never. So how the hell is he a Hall of Famer if he's not considered a top quarterback amongst his era and his peers, let alone everybody else like Montana, Elway, Marino, and all those guys? Exactly right. It's ridiculous.
People don't understand, okay? You've got to have both. You need both. It's not one or the other. It's not just rings, and it's not just stats. You need the both. There has only ever been one exception to the rule, ever. One exception to the rule was Dan Marino. That's it. Nobody else gets that exception. And that's only because Dan Marino was so ridiculously, stupidly good that you can't deny it. Okay? But where's Eli's argument for that? Okay? So, yes, Super Bowls are great, but how come when we mention the greatest quarterbacks of all time, how come Terry Bradshaw's never mentioned?
I think we know the reason why.
Yeah. Okay, so four rings, but we know about the Steelers defense. Do you know that Terry even has a regular season MVP?
I knew that, and I was wondering why. And it took him like his whole career to get it, by the way. But
he got it.
Yeah, he does have it. Yeah.
But Eli's only got 2 rings and has never even been a top 10 quarterback in any category of any time. How the hell do you put him in the? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And nobody even talks about Terry, and he's got 4, is what I'm saying. So where's this? No, it's not enough. It's just not enough. Dude, he led the league in interceptions, 3 or 4 times?
3 times, if I'm mistaken.
Like, dude, you can't. I mean, and you know what? I know I'm a Patriots fan, but I like Eli. I don't even have a problem with Eli. I never had a problem with Eli Manning. I just don't I don't hate him. Okay, listen, he made the throws. He did it. He got the job done. Good for him. That's how it is. I don't hate people for beating me. I hate people for being jackasses. Okay, that's a different thing. Okay, like I can't stand the Eagles. I don't like that 2017 Eagles team. They infuriate me because of how they act. Okay, has nothing to do with the fact that they beat us, because I don't hate the Giants and they beat us twice. So it's about who you are and how you are. And so this isn't personal with Eli. It's just the truth.
You weren't good
okay?
enough.
Listen, if we put these guys in the Hall of Fame for longevity, of course Eli's got a lot of yards. He played forever. He never missed a game. Okay, so that means Phillip Rivers is going to have to go in. That means Matthew Stafford is going to have to go in. Think about that.
Yeah, at this rate.
I mean, I think I'm going to throw up in my mouth right now. The idea that Matthew Stafford might be a Hall of Famer. Okay, what if Jared Goff never misses a game? What are we going to do then? Is Jared Goff going to be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, because he's going to get those stats. If you don't miss a game, you're going to get those yards. You're going to get those touchdowns over time. You just are. You will. You can't help it.
It's almost to the point where they may have to like update how they wrote in or something like that. They're going to have to change something.
But they've already tainted it by the past mistakes. I mean, I think the thing that clinched their credibility and wrecked their credibility was Terrell Owens. Okay,
yeah, that took so long. Yeah, I agree.
You didn't let him in for 3 years, but you put Randy Moss in first ballot.
Mind you, they both were divas, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
While Terrell and Randy are basically the same when it comes to touchdowns, yards, and they're essentially the same player playing in the same time frame, but yet Randy gets in first ballot, which is rightfully so, but Terrell should have been first ballot. That's the problem. Okay, so but if you made Terrell wait 3 years, then why didn't you make Randy? I'm just saying. I want. You've got to have consistency. You've got to have. Where's your credibility if you don't have consistency and you don't stick to what you do? You know. I know, Joe. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna be honest. You brought up Randy, right? And I think he got in because at that time he's worked for them. He worked for the media. I think he worked for ESPN at the time. So and usually the media votes these players in. So I think because he worked with them and they pretty much had we work with him. Like, all right, fine. Put him in there. He's one of us. Let one of our own get in there. Yeah. I think that's probably why he did able to get in first ballot. Because if you want to go by that logic, as far as like, they're both with divas, then he should have waited too. I agree. But I think he's part of the media. Let him in.
Which is absolutely
pathetic. But the argument, but the real argument is that neither should have waited. That's the problem.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. That's the problem. Yeah. But dude. I loved Megatron. He was one of my favorite players. I tuned into Lions games just because I wanted to see what is Calvin Johnson going to do today. But he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, dude. I'm sorry, he's not. And that just is mind blowing to me. And I just see a lot of guys getting inducted. I don't think Adrian James is a Hall of Famer. He got in.
Crazy one. That was a crazy one.
I'm sorry. Listen, longevity is nice. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, Frank
Gore. Okay? Yes. Who cares? Who cares that Frank Gore is been around? That's great. Good for you. You made a lot of money. Okay, and that's your reward. Your reward for longevity is that you made a lot of money, and you can take care of your family. You've got generational wealth, next generational wealth. Great, but it doesn't mean you're a Hall of Famer.
No, never consider a top 5 running back in your generation, dude.
Adrian, you're not Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is the only running back from this last 20 years, I think, that's Hall of Famer, other than the ones that already got in, like Danny Tomlinson clearly is a Hall of Famer. Okay, but I'm talking about the ones that haven't been in yet. Adrian Peterson is the only one that I'm not going to argue against, probably. So.
I won't argue against him. Even if he's first ballot, I probably won't argue because he was just that ridiculous. I'm fine with Marshawn Lynch getting in too, but not first ballot. But getting in eventually, waiting 2-3 years, I don't mind.
Right, but not first ballot. Yeah. But Adrian Peterson, Adrian Peterson was Walter Payton. He was Jim Brown and Barry Sanders in an era where they don't run the ball.
Exactly. Just look at him play, you know it. That eye test tells you all. Look at him. Okay, we got it. Like that is that obvious. You shouldn't have to think. That's like the one thing I agree with Sid Bayless about. Because he said that. He's like, if you have to think about it, then I don't think you're Hall of Famer. I don't have to think about it. Adrian Peterson, I've seen him play. That's it. Hall of Famer. And that's the thing that nobody wants to differentiate. There's a Hall of Very Good and there's a Hall of Fame. And they're intertwined to people for some reason. And that's not. If you're not the best of the best, where is the credibility? And that's what's wrong with the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's like all the Patriots fans wanting Julian Edelman to be in the Hall of Fame. Julian didn't make it. I'm sorry. But
no, I love him. I have his jersey hanging right there. Yep. No, he's not Hall of Famer. I love him to death.
Yeah, exactly. We got to be real here, man. And you know what the argument, what the debate was for Peyton Manning's induction? A guy stood up and said, Peyton Manning.
I think that's too much right there. His name, you should just put it. That's it. Done. Skip.
Just that. Another story. Dan Marino. A guy stood up when it came to Dan Marino. You had announced. He goes, the greatest thrower of the football in human history. He sat down, and that was it.
Next.
Okay, next. There's just some guys that are beyond conversation. Tom Brady, you don't even need to say his name. Just have an image up with him with a halo around his head. Oh,
right. His jacket should be made already. Like you shouldn't have to say his name at all.
You know what? If they want to get some credibility back, then if they want to clean up the mess that they've made of the Hall of Fame, induct Tom while he's still playing.
I would. Why not?
Give him a bust. You don't put up his stats yet. Don't put up his all that. But
no.
But just make his bust and have it made already.
That's what I would.
That would make a difference right there.
They should do that for Jordan too. Why not?
Oh yeah, of course. In fact, Jordan should be outside of the, what is it called? It's called the Naismith Hall of Fame, right? For basketball.
Basketball Hall of Fame.
Jordan should be outside, like a statue of him, and there should be a Tom Brady statue outside of Canton as you walk in. That is what they need to do.
That is your best player ever. So I agree with you 100%. Jesus.
But that's my problem with the Hall of Fame, and you know, I get that there's some guys in there that don't belong. Like Joe Namath technically wasn't a great quarterback. He doesn't deserve it as far as a player. But I know why he got in. I
think I know why too.
I know why too.
It was a pivotal moment in NFL history, and that's why I really don't attack it too much, because I get it. It's a circumstance thing. It's a historical moment, so I get it. But as a quarterback, as a pure quarterback, he never would have made it if he wasn't of that era, beating the Colts, all that, you know. But yeah, he's not. So he's like Eli is like Joe Namath, basically. You know, that's kind of how I see it. Except Eli doesn't have that pivotal moment in history where the league was combining into from two leagues into one. So
merge, yeah.
So yeah, but they're going to do it. They're going to put Eli in because his last name is Manning, and that's it.
He beat Tom Brady twice.
Like you need to put Tom Brady in 3 times. I could make an argument for Tom 3 times.
No, you could. So you could say he can go in 3 different times in his career.
Now, right now, Kurt Warner is in the Hall of Fame, and I don't have a problem with Kurt being in the Hall of Fame. I love Kurt and stuff. Under my standards, if I was to rewrite it, then Kurt wouldn't make it. Okay, but Warren Moon wouldn't make it either, and he is my childhood idol. Warren Moon was, but he wouldn't make it either. Is my point. A lot of guys wouldn't make it, but with the way they are now, Kurt is in. Okay. And based on their standards, rightfully so. But you could cut Tom's career into thirds, and then each one is Kurt Warner. It's hard to process.
That's how you know he plays, because he loves to play. Because what the hell else are you playing for at this point?
It's true.
You rich, you're the best 3 times over. Like, what else? Like, what else?
This right here, baby.
Yeah.
Like he says, the next one.
The next one.
Get
that number 8, 9, and 10, right?
Dude, if he creates a dynasty with this Bucs team, we're gonna have to, like, the United States is gonna have to etch him on Mount Rushmore, like, just like put him right next to George Washington, like on the and then, yeah. What else you gonna do? You tell me.
It's to the point where you're gonna have to put him as, like, because I don't like to compare different sports. As I always say, there's a team sport aspect and there's the individual sport aspect. But if he does something like that, it's the point where you gotta start, like, comparing him to, like, the tennis players and stuff, because there's nobody who dominate team sports the way he does. And imagine if he adds in more rings. It's like, what the hell? Like, it's not enough. Like, Jordan won't even sniff his boots anymore, and I'm damn near there already. If he does all this, too much.
I thought nobody could get 6 anymore in any sport. With Jordan getting 6, when Jordan got 6, I remember watching that. I was in high school, and I remember watching him hold up his hand, going like that to the crowd, 6, 6, 6, and I thought, that's stupid. That's just like.
No, it's inconceivable.
That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, nobody is going to do this. Okay? Nobody's going to win 6 championships again in any sport. It's just not going to happen. And Tom did it in the sport that it's the most unlikely. Football is the most unlikely. And he's got 7 now. I don't even understand. Like, it's just weird. It's how anybody could ever say that he's not the GOAT. You've got to be just the dumbest. You know what? Like, it's just.
He's been the best quarterback to me since 2014 when he beat Seattle. He became the best player to me after 2016 when he beat Atlanta and that. Now
Now
it's not even like no one will. Now I can tell you, no one will ever sniff that.
Right. See,
everybody else is the next floor.
Exactly. The NFL argument, like you said, I agree. The NFL argument was over. The quarterback argument was over after Seattle. The NFL in general player, because I think people think it's Rice who was the GOAT.
They say Rice, they say Lawrence Taylor. You know,
I thought it was Lawrence Taylor. To be honest with you, but after 2016, Tom took care of all players, so the NFL was done. After 2018, now he's entered in. We've got to start looking at all sports ever.
Team sport. Exactly. Look at that basketball and all that. Yeah.
Right. Now he's won his 7th. Now we've got to include, like you said, tennis, golf, individual Olympians, all that. Now we've got to start. It's like, what? It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
They should have listened to Steve Harvey when they said, like, put a hit on him. Remember when Steve Harvey said that? They should have.
Dude, that was hilarious. That's the best joke I've ever heard at a sports award show. That was so funny because it was so true. It's like, have you guys never thought about putting your money together and having him killed? Like, why are you still allowing this?
Yes.
Why are you? Yeah. He burned every one of those quarterbacks in that crowd, dude. That was rough.
And what happened the other month? He's still beating your ass. Pretty easily, too.
I remember that night the NFC quarterbacks were all getting a good laugh out of it. The AFC quarterbacks didn't think it was funny. But the NFC quarterbacks, they're all like,
if I'm not mistaken, that was 2018, right? Yeah, Mahomes was like,
Mahomes kind of played along a little bit, but you could tell that it pissed him off. But it pissed off Deshaun Watson. It pissed off Baker Mayfield. Andrew Luck, I don't think found it that funny. But the NFC quarterbacks were laughing their butts off. Dak Prescott thought it was hilarious. Aaron Rodgers thought it was hilarious. But then, because Tom doesn't affect them getting to the Super Bowl.
They were like, I'm not gonna deal with that, so it's fine.
They're like, ha 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 ha. Guess what?
Hi.
It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore.
Especially the Rodgers. He's like, damn it. He felt their first hand. Yep. This has been great. We have an interview in 20 minutes, so we should get some air. Mm-hmm. This is always fun. Oh, wait. We could talk about this off, actually, because you appear to your spot. You got to invade your show. So do the outro real quick and we'll talk.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening.
Okay.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play Radio, Stitcher Play Radio, at Podcast Dynasty on Twitter. Join the Facebook group. We're almost at 500 members. This is awesome. This is great. You guys have been awesome. Continue to post and share your teams, share your fandom.
And go to VonAllen Sports group.
Yes.
If you don't, you're ridiculous.
Yes, go to VonAllen Sports. Man, you guys are great. He's great.
As you saw today.
Yes, excellent interview. This is great. We appreciate you being here with us, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And you guys got to come on my show now.
So of course.
We're going to talk about that right now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace, guys. See you later.